go live.
Let's go.
And I'm going to announce to chat that snow should be illegal, always should have been illegal, and if you play snow, you suck. You have a small dick.
Are the other Fairy Tale cards good?
No, not really.
Oh.
I think the only thing you could do is run Fairy Tale Charmer. Yeah, but snow is just the most atrocious card, and I can't believe it's still legal in Master Duel. I didn't realize until I started playing Duelist Cup, and people are playing it in Despia Branded because it's a light, because that deck also kind of sucks and can just do whatever the fuck it wants. I think that's just my main issue is it's not always true. Like, technically, Tier is a deck that is usually made very pure, right? Or even a Shizu Tier, a lot of it is still stacked up together.
Give me a lot of season names. A lot of those names, yeah.
Yeah, and we'll probably talk about because I don't think is Dallas here. No, Dallas is not here yet. He was online for a little bit. He might show up now that the stream is live. Oh yeah, I forgot to tweet this one. We were talking about Master Duel stuff ahead of time. Hold on, don't yet. Well, yeah, we can talk about that too. But I was in the middle of saying was we might talk about the OCG ban list because that was pretty based. Pretty rad.
Yeah, that wasn't a fever dream.
No, it was real. And you know that thing you just... spoilers, chat, if you hadn't looked at it. That thing Axe just said about needing a lot of tier names, that's important. That's an important fact for later. But yeah, that deck is played pretty pure. So it's funny, right, how parts of it are problematic and parts of it are not. The thing that really annoys me is decks that can truly do whatever. Like, we were talking earlier about different things we're doing, and X, you mentioned the thing about fair. I think Labyrinth is a very fair deck. It has a lot of archetype locking. You get locked to Fiends a lot. It works only with normal traps, right? So it's all like, you know, Compulse. Technically, I could hybridize Mirror Forces, but I can't because all of those are super rares or higher. So it's really hard to make those cards. What the fuck, Konami?
Omega, I feel like this is a thing of it's the Red Eyes Mountain problem of you always have a deck that you love that is always going to be stuck at tier 2 or tier 3.
I mean, maybe I don't know if Labyrinth is like Dual Logs is crazy about Labyrinth. He's been posting brews like on his Twitter and stuff that I've one of which was a like low budget like the equivalent of a you know common charity variant, which I checked out as well for some great stuff in there. You play a lot of paleo slants in Labyrinth because Dinomicious is an incredibly based card. Hey, you know what Dinomicious doesn't do? Destroy. You know what it does do? Banish. So it can get around a lot of problem cards that way, but
depends if you get cards in hand.
Labyrinth, Labyrinth also doesn't necessarily have that problem if you draw the right parts of your deck. But Labyrinth is, like, very fair. Labyrinth is honestly too fair. You have great abilities to reset trap cards. You can't activate those cards the turn you set them. So if you are, like, called on to use those effects of, like, Stovey Torby or Chandraliger or something like that to set a card on your opponent's turn, and you're still going to lose the game, hey, guess what? You still lose the game. And it's, like... I really like how Lab plays. It's a very interesting trap-heavy deck that doesn't feel quite the way Dinomorphia feels. Dinomorphia, having played that for the No Spell, the Anti-Spell Festival, Dinomorphia is like a crack-fueled nightmare of a deck. Like, you're just huffing down life points and whittling yourself down and hope that your opponent eventually runs out of stuff to do because you keep activating counter traps that they can't activate, and also the fact that you have a literally unlimited number of assholes. You know how MBT somebody talks about the infinite conga line of assholes? That is just Dinomorphia. I played against a Dinomorphia guy in I talked about this I think on our AP that we recorded. I don't know if I got into the final recording or not, but we were fucking around, so I talked about it. But I played versus a Dinomorphia player. It was the absolute immovable object versus the unstoppable force deck, because I could not remove his guys from the field fast enough with traps that he couldn't just banish a trap and summon them all back. I was pretty sure that deck was going to end with a deck out unless I could force him to accidentally put a guy in attack mode, because he was down to 16 life points. 16, chat.
The only thing that really ruins Dinomorphia is burn damage, but most decks don't
but most decks don't have that, and you can't side deck. I guess I could play Cowboy instead of Baguska or Redoer as the angle shoot there, but that'd be pretty weird. Especially
John,
considering that you can't go into your fucking extra deck anyway.
Do you have any multiples in your extra that you could probably swap in?
No, I'm running a singleton of everything.
Damn.
Just one more quick thing about Master. Wait,
yeah.
Are you done, Omega?
One
more quick thing about.
Well, yeah, I should talk about how that match ended. It went to connection loss. We eventually lost connection. Otherwise, I think that duel was going to end when I decked him out.
It's funny you say that, Omega. I was about to say, it feels like I'm fighting a lot of people from the FGC, because whenever I get the lead or the person's about to lose, I suddenly get a lot of connection losses.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I think some might be, like, LAN problems, but also, I play on console, admittedly, and I know that's worse, but the net code, like, the connection code for Master Duel has always been kind of bad. I thought it was just with international players, but I don't think it is. I think it's just, in general, it's not great. I think it's better on PC, but I still play against a lot of PC people, so I assume that it's bad, whether it's bad for me or bad for them. I don't know. But okay,
people trying to
see, I don't know if Marth's, like, in chat. He's not in the VC yet. Ugh. I should warn everybody, Loth has a little bit of a sore throat, and I'm also feeling a little under the weather. I don't know if I'm sick or not. I do have a little bit of a headache and a dry throat today, but it could also just be, if you watch the God of War stream on yesterday, you may have noticed that my sinuses were melting out of my face. So I took an allergy pill early when I got up to stop that, so I may have just, put it in the other direction. Now instead of being all goopy, I'm dry.
My mouth is, like, super dry and salty for some reason.
Oh, yeah, you had a sore throat on, like, Sunday, yeah, or something.
It's cleared up, like, yesterday and today.
Why are we all sick?
It's well, actually, no. I was gonna say it's winter, but it's not winter for you.
Yeah. It's summer. I hate it.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, hey, if you want to play Rockets, Chris Edward, go for it. I love people to play pet decks, unless your pet deck is really insufferable. It's just like we do. When I'm talking about people being clowns on Master Duel, I'm usually not referring to you, the audience. I know that I've gotten some flack from Blue Eyes people over the years. Hopefully, Blue Eyes being on Master Duel, you realize that most Blue Eyes players on Master Duel are Crayon Eaters. Luckily, I don't see them a lot anymore. Maybe they finally learned their lesson about, activating Eternal Light or True Light.
No, okay, so quick thing, because I was, imagine it being summer, Omega, but your flu's giving you the chills.
Ugh. That sounds gross and horrible.
That's been my day and yesterday after I had to leave the God of War stream. I was just like, what the fuck is this?
I forgot to ask
by the way, chat, I hope you are excited because we've gotten our the Synchro episode of the Visa Starfrost saga. They've revealed Mana Dome, which is going to be the Synchro archetype. We will have to see if it's as insanely fucking broken as all the other Visa Starfrost archetypes were, except for Scareclaw.
Scareclaw, the Link one wasn't that great, and technically I don't say any much about the Xyz one, but they might be using the main
no, Kashtira is broken in the OCG. You're waiting for their second wave of support in the TCG.
I really want to play that deck, but it's going to be too fucking expensive.
Well, luckily, Master Duel will exist. Will they release all the Kashtiras at once? I don't think they've released those yet. Well, we don't have any of Tier yet either, so we don't know. Well, it'll probably be fucking March of next year before we actually get to figuring that shit out.
Oh yeah, this is a weird thing. Because my birthday's Saturday, we probably should have made today a birthday stream, but I didn't prepare for it at all, so we'll just...
That's okay. We can do it next week if you're okay with that. We're planning on doing Dynomist today. That's going to be shorter. The fact that we all feel a little under the weather, I think, is going to be okay for that.
Can I guest star on What's Up on Saturday?
No.
Nah. I had to ask.
It's my birthday wish.
Because it's like...
You would hurt me. I'm your birthday boy.
Anyway, because you guys would complain that it's too much, so whatever.
You're already technically part of What's Up anyway, with the amount of times you will have a comment, and then Lucky will be like, what the fuck, X?
I'm also like...
What's part of the audience
I'm usually like 80% of the chat anyway, so, man.
Well, luckily we've got different people in chat right now. But we can talk about the OCG list. I won't pull up the graphic for it, but YG Organization has this. And this is just a motherfucker of a list. I haven't done a count, but I'm pretty sure most tier limit names have been hit. Like, I don't even know if you can run a pure tier deck.
Like 3 of them. I don't remember it that clearly. It was kind of a fever dream.
Let's see. There's like 4, and I think the field spell as well. I don't actually know how many different tier names you play, but it's so. First of all, again, shout out to the OCG. They did the thing that Master Duel did. Barrier Statue of the Stormwinds, fucking banned. Sucks for
Thank
you.
God.
From unlimited to forbidden. Speaking of like the few times Master Duel has correctly done something about a floodgate. But also Kit Kalos banned from unlimited to forbidden. Which is I think going to be a pretty big one. Kit Kalos is their smaller fusion. She's the level 5 fusion that lets you search a card or send it to graveyard, so she's just your free extension. So that's just banned. Kashira Fenrir and Kashira Unicorn both got put to 1. Sheeran and Rhino Heart for tier limits are also 1. Also, Bestial's got tagged in here a little. Bestial Magnamut went from unlimited to limited. And then Prime Planet Paraisos. Which one is that? Is that the Kashtira field spell or the... Yeah, it's the Kashtira field spell got hit. The tier limit field spell was already hit. It's at 1, I think. So there's a lot less cards you can play in that deck. And you don't have Kit Kalos for your free extension, so that's probably going to stuff them up a little bit. Also, hey, please do this in Master Duel. Branded Fusion to 1. It was semi-limited, now it's limited. And then they did some funny unlimits. So AFD is being unbanned with an errata. It's coming back. Both of its effects are now hopped, and the field spell you search from your deck has to be different than the ones that you blew up.
Sorry, AFD?
Ancient Fairy Dragon.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. So they finally figured out an errata that works for AFD that keeps it, like, anime and manga compatible, but also...
Like normal field spells now? What was it?
No, it's, they can't... The field spell you search can't have the same name as any of the field spells you destroyed.
Okay. So
Makes sense.
So you can't use it to, like, get a field spell that has a positive effect when you blow it up and then move it on. Also, with Mystic Mind banned in both formats now, this is probably less of a concern. I suspect since the AFD errata is approved, it's going to be like Night Assailant, where they'll probably like tuck an AFD reprint into a set sometime, maybe Maze of Memories or something, and just do the errata and unban. And then the OCG did the thing that the TCG did: Steam the Cloak to 1, Change of Heart to 1. They got some other interesting stuff. So they are moving Swap Frog back up. It's gone from limited to semi-limited. They're semi-limiting Kagari. This is a mistake. You cannot give Sky Striker an inch. I don't care that you want them to buy dumb Sky Striker cards that are bad. You can't give them anything. Galatea to 2.
I mean, they don't have Mystic Mind anymore, so is it like...
I mean, it's in the OCG and in Master Duel, they've never had Mystic Mind. Keeping Kagari at 1 is why they don't have anything done to Engag in OCG and Master Duel format. So now you can loop Engage at least twice, and you get 3 copies. It's dumb. It's bad. Sky Striker has a really interesting side strategy with this whole no main monster zones, etc., etc. The fact that none of their cards are once per turn and just you can literally search whatever the fuck you want and do whatever you want an unlimited number of times is the really annoying part, and Kagari to 2 does not help that.
I saw a thing related to having like monster, like nothing in the main monster zones. I saw a thing being mentioned on like a cards being like compared to Magic cards. Apparently, people are now thinking about running what's it, Mushroom Man number 2 or something.
They've done that
you can
before
just
for
pay
the
to
burn
put
damage
it on your
biggest time.
just pay life points to put on your opponent's field.
I know
There are some pretty funny things.
putting a token in your opponent's field actually stops them from being able to activate a lot of like comeback cards.
Yeah. Let's see. They're already doing Yatagarasu to 2. Again, does nothing. Rite of Arm Asir is coming back from limited to semi-limited. I guess they've decided that Adventure is not as much of a problem. This is a funny one in the OCG. We'll see if this happens in the TCG. Infinity Lawn Chair to 2. Should get some of you boys out there
I want to see some Infinity. That'd be fun.
Much like Master Duel as well, Trickstar Light Stage. By the way, the OCG had Trickstar Light Stage at 1 until now. until technically not until next year. This goes into effect January 1st, 2023. What the fuck, OCG? What are you smoking? Raigeki is 2-2 in the OCG. Again, the OCG really loves the semi-limited list. It's very funny. Raigeki's been at 3 in the TCG for like 3 months, 4 months, not doing anything. And then there are some unlimits, which also actually makes sense. So ABC Dragon Buster Unlimited again. He's back. He's out of jail. The OCG is no longer mad at ABC. Double Iris in the OCG's gone to 3. Was it 2 before? Water Enchantress also to 3. Phantom Knights of Tornscale was actually hit. That's going to 3. And they had Scarlet Eldlixir semi-limited 2-3. They must have learned that in fact did nothing to Eldritch. Literally nothing happened.
I thought it was just cheap.
I don't think Scarlet Sanguine to 2, because I'm pretty sure you can search and loop that card if you feel like it does shit.
Sure.
There's a lot of differences in philosophy for like limiting or hitting things. Generally, I'm of the opinion that it's absolutely the generic shit that's like really splashable and crazy good that you need to fucking dunk in. Like, if you want to actually stop Eldritch, don't ban a single Eldritch card. As much as I find their counter trap gold lane forever fucking annoying. Yeah, get skill drain, get rivalry, shit like that. Okay, we've been talking for like 15 minutes, and I'm already starting to feel. I'm starting to feel it now, Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, let's talk about some.
Let's talk about some robot dinosaurs.
Yeah, Predacons.
I was like, God, this reminds me like hours ago. Where, like I was just thinking, like it literally is just Beast Wars.
Yeah, kind of. These guys are pretty fun. They've got a cool solo mode, and the lore implies that the Dino Mists just kind of exist. We do know, and we'll reference later, they are tied into the Draco Slayer, Draco Fighter kind of thing. But that's not really clear how that works.
The field spell is also, I think, one of the 3 big ones of the Draco Slayers. It's a Dino Mist. Unless the pendulum, I think, got the power of them because the field spell is him.
Yeah, it's him doing like a. Because this one's so short, we're gonna do all the spell traps. Yes.
Eventually, he becomes, I think, Dynamite.
Yeah, Dynamite Power Load.
Yeah,
that's also in this list.
And then he gets, and then
Axe, we'll get there. That's a. I know it doesn't say it's a Dynamist card, but it says it's a Dynamist card, so we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But yes, Dynamic Power Load is also in this because we're just. So the thing about Dynamist is we're going to talk about the spells and traps because they're really important and really good. But also it's short. But Dynamist is a very interesting archetype. Let me go check top decks if it's got any top cuts. But in general, most of you probably remember Dynamist from a lot of things because Dynamist is a budget pendulum archetype from kind of the prime of pendulums. Most of their cards were low rarity. I think like 2 of them were supers. So you see them a lot in like limited formats. In Master Duel as well, they are also. So they've gotten a couple. Wow. In the CTS series in Norway in June, Demise Dynamist got first place.
Demise Dynamist?
Yeah. Well, remember, a lot of Dynamists proc when you explode stuff.
True.
Actually, no, it's cards with Demise, I think.
Set scales 10-4.
But yeah, no, Dynamist is one of the reasons I was super butthurt at Despair, Robin, and I believe Marth during the R-Proc journey.
Yes, Dynamists were a very accessible archetype. Like, I think even I had, like, most of the bones for
every prog series had an issue of Dynamist, honestly.
Yeah, it comes up a lot, because like I said, in Limited, it's super accessible, but also, like a lot of these budget decks, that tends to make it popular with players, because, if you open those packs, you understand that those cards are accessible. And like I said before, in Master Duel, I believe they are almost all low-rarity cards in the Draco Slayer type pack, so, because there's like 4 archetypes in there, which sucks, but anyway.
Jesus.
No, listen, if we ever have the time and the energy to do the Iron Duelist or whatever the fuck I call that project and have it not explode my OBS. you guys are gonna find out how fucking dumb some master packs are, or some secret packs are. They're very dumb, some of them. They're very bad. But anyway, Dinomist. There's nothing really to say about them aesthetically. They are robot dinosaurs in the mist. They're pretty prominently... so they're not actually dinosaur type. They are machines, but they are water machines, which I believe is pretty rare. I don't know if there are any other specifically water machine archetypes. There are other water machine cards, some of which are in archetypes, but I don't think, like, submarines really are an archetype. Like, I know there's a submarine Roid. I know there's a couple of submersibles in the sea stealth, Mako Tsunami-like zone, but that also includes, you know, fucking jellyfish and fiend kraken and great white.
Good old fortress whale or something.
Yeah, shit like that. So, they're in kind of a special place. And we'll pull up the first card art in a second. But even though it's only been 20 minutes, I've been talking so much, I have drained my entire bottle of water, and now I need to go to the toilet. So, I'm going to leave you with the Master Duel music and be right back. I will mute deafen so Axe and Loth will not be left on stream again.
Aw.
Good.
I had a bit.
No.
All right, I'll leave them to it. I'll be right back. I'm back.
That's all featured on the.
All right,
Field
we're
spell.
sliding
Yeah,
in.
like Dynamite Power Load is the Draco Slayer before being a person. Still on.
So yeah, I found the best.
I'm not sure how that works.
I found the best water machine monster, Snowman Creator.
That is pretty cool. All right, let me pull up the gallery images. We'll just be going in alphabetical order. I think, other than the interesting legacy support, there were basically only the two waves of Dinomists, like back to back.
Yeah, I think the only one last priority was like I guess Dynamite Power Load, but you probably said that
Yeah,
as
yeah.
Draco Slayer.
That'll be at the bottom. No, it is a Dinomist card. It says in its effect text, this card is always a Dinomist.
I had to look at Dynamite Draco Slayer because the context of that.
Anyway,
Oh.
Axe continues to
Sorry,
try
you gave
and
me
produce a
coffee.
show that he has no creative control over.
Look at this boy.
This is Anklos. He is a boy. He is a lad.
Mine-
If he was yellow, he reminded me of Ankleomon.
I would say it reminds me of like a Digimon that is referred to the same dinosaur.
Yeah,
Oh
Ankleomon.
yeah, it's an Ankylosaurus, so yeah, it's gonna look like that. There are definitely some nice design notes here. As this is another one of those weird cases. Sometimes the extended art for Pend Monsters works. Sometimes it doesn't really. This one has a lot of blank space. I know it's so
Yeah,
they can
like
fit
when
the
you-
text boxes, but like it makes the framing of the card art really weird. But overall, I like the little details here. Like, instead of the club tail, he's got, like, a weird hose
Prong?
wrench thing. Yeah. Like, I think that's, like, a fire hose head. But he's still got the spikes. That's cool. I like all the little pistons and wheel turns
like,
everywhere.
on water or something.
I like the fact that technically he doesn't have like a mouth. It looks like an open mouth, but you can see like a little bit of glass like line there. So it's literally just like the orb mouth
It's like
thing.
a reactor.
Yeah, he also doesn't look like he has any like joints to close his mouth. It's just kind of how his face is.
Yeah.
He's got little nose holes there. I also like the like boiler tank on his bottom
I don't
body.
think it's explained how they exist, but they're powered by the volcano and the ocean they live in. So
Yes,
Yeah,
they
I
are
missed-
supposed to be literally steam-powered robots. And as Zach said, the Solomon did not elucidate us why they exist, just that they do exist.
They do.
they have an ecosystem at least.
Yeah.
But that doesn't explain the point.
But I do like the little bits. You know, there's some steam coming out. There's some tubing and piping. Very solid. This is a good robot dinosaur.
These were
5 out
created
of 10.
after
It was
Optimus-
okay review.
This was created after Optimus Primal fucked up.
I believe it, but I don't know. But
I'm not gonna get into
But don't be
Transformers
nightmare.
deep lore. I will not speak the words.
I've been recommended a lot of Transformers videos lately, and I don't know why.
You clicked the wrong thing, motherfucker.
I know.
Trevor's a cool comic.
So
Watch one video.
Anklos is a decent boy. He's a level 4 machine pen. He's a 6 scale, so he's one of your high scales. 1500 attack, 2k defense, so, you know, decent stat blob here. Its pendulum effect is, once while this card is in your pen zone, you can negate an activated effect, or an activated card effect, sorry, that targets another Dynamist cards you control, then destroy this card. So, it's a very simple effect. It blocks an attempt to pop a Dynamist you have, and then it pops itself, which puts it in your extra deck face up, which triggers things. And then its monster effect is a simple continuous. Banish any monster destroyed by battle with a Dynamist monster you control. So it turns all of your attackers into Macrocosmos. Which, again, as you all know, can be really annoying.
Yep.
Oh, and one little translation note, I should say. In the OCG, this is Dynamist, not Dinomist. Solid localization, I think, on both ends.
Yeah, either way works, honestly.
Yeah.
Art-wise, this guy looks good. A lot of dead space at the bottom, and effect-wise, this guy is just... It's one of the things you look at and go, why would you not run 3?
Yeah, no. And it's a high scale. Scales are very important in pen decks.
High scale and also level 4, so you could just normal summon him and his effect. Is it other Dinomist monsters or just all?
No,
Dinomist
it's
monsters?
a monster destroyer battle with a Dinomist you control. So,
So yeah, he could just be like, bonk.
I remember.
and there are some attack fixing there. Yes,
I
go ahead,
remember
X.
the whole bit of Dynamis is like 2/3 majority of their cards are good, and like the rest are like just names.
Yeah, there's a decent number of just really good Dinomists, and then the rest of your Dynamists, I believe, are just okay. They're very mid.
Sorry, wait, am I hearing FGO in the background?
What?
Where?
Someone playing FGO?
No.
Oh,
I have
must
it in the
be hearing
background, but I don't know that they pick up on the mic.
Well,
Oh,
it do be like
is,
that
so it is
sometimes.
Max. Yeah, don't worry. I was just like, I'm hearing the sound of like stars being collected.
Now,
I'm like,
look
what
at
the
this
fuck?
boy.
Weird,
Look
I
at
haven't
this
used-
armored core ass dinosaur.
I don't remember seeing
This
before.
is Dynamist Brachion.
Oh, no, I remember.
When
this
I
guy.
talk about his stat line, you'll understand why you probably don't see this one a lot. But anyway, so Brachion's card art, I like this one. This one actually uses the bottom half a lot better because it gives you a sense of scale. There's some extra trees and stuff down there.
Yeah.
But I just like this boy because like look at all these guns.
Some of them don't even look like guns. They just look like just rulers attached to his sides.
Yeah, he's just somebody in the modeling department who made this kit had a lot of fun. They had some extra molds they needed to use up, give him some extra greebles.
I appreciate just all the steam coming off him because yeah, with this motherfucker you need a lot of steam.
Well, and you can
my
see, so
friends.
Anklos had one of these boilers on his body. Brachios has like 3 big boilers, and he's got like radiators here. Like he is a big boy.
Requires a lot of power.
Yeah. And he's got like big blocky triangular tank treads instead of legs, but it still works. He's pretty good. No, he's a lovely shade of purple. I think all the Dynamists are different colors. Not like as a
Color
direct
coordinated.
theme, but yeah, just like giving them different color palettes mixes them up a little. But yeah, Brachion.
They're just Megazords.
I mean, yeah, basically. Like, it's actually no, especially with the card art for Dynamite Power Load. Yeah, no, these are. I know we say it a lot, but specifically, I'm going to say that these guys are very Sentai-esque. They all have different color themes. A lot of them have like weird extra weapons, and stuff. And we know that they are technically transforming mecha. So yeah,
I'm more like less Sentai and more just Japanese Transformer lines.
well, it is true. If people don't know, the original Gen Transformer toys were actually a bunch of molds and model kits that were licensed. I'm pretty sure from Bandai, because they were all about that shit in the 70s and 80s. And then they kind of became their own original thing. But yeah, no, I think with the color coordination, it can also be very Sentai lineup-esque.
I think it's just kind of.
Yeah.
There's like probably like a Venn diagram about how that overlaps when it comes to Japanese toys.
We can all agree that we like the card art, but what about the effects and stats? Because you said that it's not used.
Yeah,
as much.
so, I mean, I don't know if it's not used as much, but Axe said he didn't recognize this one right away, and I think there's a reason for that. This one is not going to be the most universal one. So, Dynamis Brachion is a level 5 pendulum monster, machine, water, all that stuff. It is a 6 scale, so it is another high scale. Its stats are 2k 800, so this monster cannot be normal summoned, and it only has 2k attack. Its pendulum zone is effect is the same as the previous one. I think most of them, if not all of them, have this pend effect. When a card effect that's activated targets another Dynamist, you can negate and destroy this card. Its monster effect is if you don't control Dynamist Brachion and your opponent controls a monster that has the highest attack on the field, even if it's tied, you can special summon this card from your hand. So it's like a really shitty Sidra.
Yeah.
You have to have no Dynamist Brachions, and your opponent's monsters have to be the biggest on the field. And all you get for that is another level 5 boy. And unlike Anklos, he doesn't have any other effect. It's just he has a free special summon, and it's just... You're already playing a Pendulum archetype. It's just not very good. I suspect this existed for them to do, because I think this was the... No, I think this might have been the first wave. But I think the idea was to give them access to rank 5 Machine Xyz monsters, which these cards were put out in, 2016. That would be good. There are cards that are machines and rank 5s that are good. But yeah, it's really probably not worth it other than just as a name, as Axe said. Very mid card.
Probably have one of you play it because you can still pend it.
Yeah. And I mentioned earlier, when we get to Spell Traps, we'll see. Dynamists do have a couple of ways to attack modulate, so it's not the worst. It's just definitely one of those cards that's like,
Yes.
oh, I'm never going to use this card's own effect to summon him because that gets me nothing.
It's a net loss.
Surprisingly, a lot of Yu-Gi cards are like that.
Well, yeah, and it's the main thing about, like, the concept of card advantage. Oh, there's some extra agreeables here. Moving on from B to C. Dinomist Ceratops. Ceratops. Whichever one you actually do. I don't know if it's supposed to be hard or soft C. So this is a Triceratops, but also this motherfucker digs. Look at all that extra shit he's got.
He's got an actual wheel on his side.
Yeah, he's got an excavator wheel. He's got, like, 3 pile bunkers on his head. He has, or rather, I think his tail, instead of being the Spike Club tail, is a grabby arm. It's a clamp. But also it has a drill tail.
Yep.
It's pretty rad.
He is eating that basalt and then getting that geothermal fuel.
Yeah, he's got a lot going on. He's got a couple of boilers. I like that he's got like the little engine flukes up there.
Yeah,
That's always fun.
He's got the smokestacks.
Yeah. And he must have 2 because I think he is actually, you can see the black trails of smoke. He's got a couple trails there.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what's going on with the glowing edges of its frill and, like, beak. I don't know if these are, like... And also the drill, I guess. I don't know if these are, like, supposed to be, like, superheated edges or something, or just the artist thought it looked cool.
A light source when he's digging underground?
He's got glowing eyes. He's got 4 glowing eyes, actually. Look at his eyes.
Yeah.
I wonder how they perceive, because that would require, like, some kind of...
Yeah, I guess...
intelligence thing inside the mechanics.
Predator vision.
Yeah, of course, we just see everything in the Predator Vision filter. But yeah, no, this
Yep.
guy looks pretty cool. He's green. You know,
Yes.
keeping our color
A
color
good-
schemes up.
Okay, hold on. He's a good shade of green.
Yes,
Which is
he's
what's
he's
in my
got a
book.
couple of green tones which blend well with like the orangey yellow of his insides. It works well.
Because I may love green, but you can easily fuck up green.
Like this is, I want to say it's like an olive drab and a little bit of a slightly yellowish green, maybe possibly a chartreuse for the highlights. Color theory is fun, chat. Any other comments about Ceratops's art before I talk about what he be doing?
The one out of the 3 Dynamis we've seen so far that looks the most Zoid-like.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if there's a thing of the Dynamis that look larger are the ones that already need tributes.
Well, this one is a level 5, so I don't know if that supports or
Maybe
doesn't
not.
support your theory. Yeah, he's only got
I'm not
2
sure.
boilers. Now this guy's
you
a...
say that? Sorry, you say that? Where's Dynamis Compy?
That'd be pretty fun to give him like a little level 1. They could do some stuff. We'll maybe chat about that later. This is a 3 scale, so this is one of your low scales. It's got 2100 attack, 4K, not 4K, 400 defense. 4K defense. No, 400 defense for
Are we
level
playing with
5.
fake cards again?
So this one has the pendulum effect. If another Dynamis card will be destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, you can destroy this card instead. So it doesn't negate; it just redirects the destruction. And this is just a Sidra. Well, kind of. It's a free extender. So if all the monsters you control are Dynamis monsters, minimum 1, and none are Dynamis Ceratops, you can special summon this card from your hand. So this just requires you to put any Dynomist on the board, and then you can special him for free. He is also a low scale and has 2100. So this card is probably better than Brachios if you were going to load up on the level 5s.
Yeah. Guy is good.
That's funny. I thought you said Gaia's good for a little bit. Oh, actually, I should tell you that, Loth. I got fucking beat up by a guy playing Gaia in Duelist Cup.
Yeah.
Those cards are surprisingly dodgy. Like they'll just like have guys tribute other guys to get around like targeting effects, and then just summon them back anyway.
A Gaia deck is weird because you never expect it.
Yeah, I really didn't know what the point of negation was, and he made a really big Dragon Knight and clapped my cheeks.
They do that.
Okay, we'll
It's
move
just-
on
it's become
from
big.
Keratops. They do become very big.
Become
This is another funny recurring theme that Axe may be thinking about. Labyrinth is another deck that would get beat up by just normal summon Blue Eyes attack because none of it's.
Again, Vega. Your problem is that like things
Well,
you
okay.
don't have ways to beat things that are just big.
I mean, I do. The problem is they take setup. Labyrinth Archfiend has an attack or an effect where it gains 400 attack for every normal trap with a different name in your graveyard. So, like, 2 turns in, that monster's, like, 4,000 attack. The problem is just getting
Yeah.
that far.
Labyrinth Archfiend isn't. It's not the name. It's not the main. Someone else.
You may be thinking of a different one. No, there is a different version of Silver Lovely Labyrinth. She's not out yet. Archfiend was just one that came out and is just your other backup Big Mungus.
But yeah, no, I think we can all agree this guy's just decent and good all around.
So let us speak of another boy that is good, because you will probably recognize him, chat. This is Dynamis
Some game-
Terran.
Yes, oh, sorry for speaking over you, Omega.
No, it's okay. I'm loud. This is Terran. Or
Smoking.
technically in Japanese, they do still have leave the P in there and no T, so it's Putaran.
Why does it have all these valves if nothing can move them?
No, I think the valves are kind of like their joints. Like I like notice
Yeah.
how that's like a thing there. I think his wings can actually like pivot a little.
Kind of
Oh.
weird.
It does look a little
considering,
stiff. Like this one being flying, it does make his like design look like it's a little stiff.
I guess the bit is they don't actually have wheels. They only have valves as a wheel, and there's
Yeah.
the development system, I guess. But they have
So,
rivets
oh,
though.
I'm gonna make I'll say a 1%er. Axe will get this, and maybe anyone else who's watched Kamen Rider O's. But just the fact that Omega said Proteran, I'm just like, yep.
Yeah, Pututera.
Japanese do love just pronouncing the P in that.
Yeah, I don't think they. I'm pretty sure Japan doesn't understand the concept of the silent P. Nobody told them that's how that works.
Also, hello, Marth. You've come at a
Hey.
good time. Look at this boy.
Oh yeah. Hey.
Terran.
I'll just say the one thing that I'll say about everything of this archetype is Zoids.
Yeah.
That is also true. There's a lot of references to be made there.
I like the colors at
I
least.
need to
of
work
it.
on my.
Oh no, this guy has good
Zoids
colors.
effects. Yeah,
It's
he's
very
not one tone, but the orange and yellow is good.
And like
And
the
the underlying
pearlescent,
black.
the
Mhm.
pearlescent blue, or the
Yeah.
I appreciate you got the smokestack, but also he's just letting off a bunch of steam and mist.
I mean,
Yeah.
listen, he's going fast. Look at the speed lines.
Yeah.
He's going fast.
Yeah, it's going very fast.
He's a
Seeing
speedy
his
boy.
dudes.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
the only thing I think that's a little interesting about the design is I noticed that all of the big glowing like cutting blades are on his back. I don't know how he actually uses those to fight, but they look cool.
Fucking just flies upside down.
does aileron rolls.
Yeah, he just rolls
Battle.
on him.
He
Barrel
just
rolls.
No, he does basically he does an aileron roll as like he's doing it. He like swipes you.
He does a super spinner attack. So, Terran is a level 4. He's a scale 3, so he's the low scale. 1800 attack, 1200 defense. Pendulum effect is the battle one. So if it would be destroyed by battle, or card effect do destroy this one instead. It's, as I said, 1800, and its monster effect is when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, add a Dynamis card. So he's just a searcher. He is not quite a Stratos, but pretty close. And just an all-around
Sorry.
good boy.
I missed it. When, did you say when he's destroyed?
No, when he destroys an opponent's monster by battle, search a Dynamist.
Okay. My bad.
By the way, that's
considering
add a Dynamist card, so that's monsters or spell traps.
Considering the attack modulation they get, that's pretty good.
Yeah. And not to mention that even if you don't have your scales set up, it's just a guy. Like, he's an 1800 guy who can just go in.
Yeah, level 4, 1800. Good stat.
Yeah.
All right. Now, let's talk about our next one. This is the one where several of us are going to see this guy and immediately go, it's this guy. Because this is one of the annoying ones. This is Dynamis Plesios.
The name.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
you know what's up.
Oh, yeah, this fucker.
Art-wise, though, this one is rad. Like, I like that kind of, like, darker and lighter blues. He's got, like, hovercraft legs, which are really cool.
Yep.
The
and,
concept
you know,
people for this
huge-
had like a good set of rules for all the designs. For this.
Yeah, the big turboprop fan on the back is cool. Also, this ocean water. Look at this water. This is drawn
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Ocean water is always like the one thing you can do photo rule of like an animated style. Honestly,
Oh god, what is it? You ever you remember those planes that could like land on water? He looks like one of those.
Seaplane? Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I think like a hovercraft with the way his legs are set up, but yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
True.
I like the little extra lines here and stuff. Actually, there's another joke I could make. These guys aren't quite as bad as those, but this one especially makes me think of fucking Horizon,
Oh, yeah.
because those are also robot dinosaurs. These are a lot more colorful than those guys. Not necessarily less mean.
It'd probably suck to fight though. 'cause you have to fight
Brachios
somehow.
Brachios has enough guns to be in Horizon for sure
Oh,
that you
yeah,
can
but
knock off and shoot back at him.
He's just a mobile weapons platform, that one.
But yeah, Plesios is pretty pleasing to look at.
I've said this before, but this guy just gives off big energy.
Yeah, he's making
Just
he's calling out.
Comical voice coming out of that.
Those aquatic reptiles.
So Plesios is another level 4. He is a Pend scale 6, which means he has the negate effect. He's 1714, but that doesn't matter because its monster effect is all face-up monsters your opponent controls lose 100 attack and defense for each Dynomist card you control. Now, obviously, we didn't play it that way, but back in the day, you control your pendulum scales, and those used to be separate from your spell trap zones. So that means you could technically, theoretically, get up to 12 face-up Dynomist cards.
I
And honestly, not that hard in this deck to possibly pull that off.
Yeah, 3 Dynamis charge. I don't know if there's any continuous traps.
There are.
Yeah.
I think Howling is a trap. Oh, and the Field Spell Zone. That's right. That's not.
Oh, yeah,
that's right. That's
so-
not a Dynamis card. It's named differently. That would not work.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Dino something charge.
There's some stuff out there, but still, even today, when basically you're down to 10, as a pendulum archetype, and when kind of designed to go into that, that's not really that hard. And that monster effect, especially when while that will reduce the modulation, your opponent can protect these monsters with your pendulum effects. The Blesios can stick around for quite a while and can make it difficult to get over Dinomists, because they are in case you guys haven't picked up on the theme, Dynamist has a very simple strategy. They summon lots of dinosaurs and they run you over. They just smoosh you flat because they are big robot dinosaurs. They are a aggro spam deck. Get a lot of guys on the board, just keep them coming and beat you up.
Yeah, even more aggro spam than some archetypes before this.
Yeah, this was pretty peak in the pendulumness of that.
Yeah, pendulums are aggro spam, pretty much.
So let us, with a side of resource loops, let us talk about one of those big boys. Interesting. Sorry, I just noted some details about this one. This is Dinomist Rex, one of the biggest boys in the archetype. So I want to say, I don't know if it's the perspective, but I don't think I like Rex as much as some of the others. His body shape is a little weird to me somehow.
Yeah,
Not really. Yeah.
It looks like he's got the fucking Japanese Thunder God circle thing behind him going on, and it's weird.
So I think that's coming out of like his back, and then he's got like the long tail behind. It just, because of the angle and the perspective, it looks a little weird.
It's got like a weird, basically electric jet boost.
Yeah, it is one of those weird ones up close.
Yeah, I think also the way his like facial lines are drawn. Now the chainsaw teeth, that's cool, but he's got like little tiny eyes, little tiny nostrils. The proportions look a little weird.
Yeah,
He's got a big-
speaking... Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Locke.
He's got a big head and little arms.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
so-
the other joke.
This plan was thought through so well.
Yeah, I don't know if I trust Yugapia's thing on this. They have a whole lore thing about this guy and another big guy being rivals.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. The trivia page for on Wikipedia for this seems fairly direct, at least.
The only thing I can appreciate about this guy is just how hard the steam is coming off of him that it's causing rocks to be blown up.
Yeah, no. They keep the power and the scale of these guys, and like the mist almost looks like storm clouds above his like big blasters or whatever. And we'll see this guy a couple of times on some spell card art. I think it's an okay design. It's just the card art for the monster card is just a little weird.
Okay, just double check this from their Master Duel Solo mode that they just.
Yeah, he's just saying that
off.
what, like Spinos and Rex are rivals or something.
Yeah, it pretty much says he's vying for the boss of all Dynamis. These are Dynamis, Spinos, and Rex. And if there's anyone invading their land, they combine together and kill the mayor.
Makes sense. They're pretty big. They're the two big boss monsters. So.
So it's Vegeta and Goku.
But yeah, Rex is one of your primary biggest boys. Biggestest boys. This is another level 5. It's a pen scale 6. It is 2400 attack, 2200 defense, so big stats. Being a high scale, it's got the negate pendulum scale effect. And then its monster effect is, if this card attacks at the end of the damage step, tribute one other Dynamist monster, activate one of these effects. Effect number 1. This card can attack an opponent's monster again in a row, and if it attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing. Number 2, shuffle one card from your opponent's hand at random or their side of the field into the deck. Then this card gains 100 attack. The attack gain, by the way, is forever. Second effect is almost, or second option is almost never used. Usually you're using this to push for game, getting a second attack and piercing.
Yeah.
But hypothetically, if like your opponent has run out of monsters, you might still do the like hand shuffle effect because it's really annoying.
Yeah.
Or you could Oh, sorry.
And this card pairs well with the trap card Dynamis Rush because that just makes it unaffected by everything except its own effects.
Yeah, so it's very strong.
That second effect, did you say card or monster to shuffle on the field?
Yeah, card at random in their hand or on their side of the field. So just any card.
So if you're lucky enough, you could probably hit someone's pen scales.
Yeah, you could probably use that for disruption. It's very situational, like I said. Usually, if Rex is hitting the board, you are probably making that push for game with the 2 attacks and the piercing.
Yeah, so it's right. It's random from the hand, and side of the field is just not.
All right. So
Yeah.
speaking of the other big boy, this is Dino Mist Spinos.
Yeah, this one is the real one that pushes for a game. Just
Yeah, this is another one of your 2 big bosses.
and this one looks. The perspective is very cool.
Yeah. I think the position of his arms confused me a little. I think it's just because his neck is so long, which is
Yeah.
good. Like,
Yeah,
they've got a
no,
lot of twisties and turns that I like.
Yeah, his neck is so... He's making... If you look at him from the top down, he's basically making an S.
Yeah, I love the extra, like, pile bunker shoulders. Those are really cool. He's got more smokestacks. His, back spines look very interesting. I'm not sure whether that, like, shoots electric lasers out of them, or they pop out, or he does a fucking sonic spin attack on you. I don't know. They look cool, though. And obviously this one is a solid color scheme where it's just one color of red and then the, light blue effect. Very good contrast.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about this guy?
Yeah, not really.
Nah, it's good, but not interesting, in my opinion.
I'm not really sure what else to say. Besides, I guess just I like the coloring and like the. Red
By the way,
goes well with
I don't
chrome.
know if it's just how the Yu-Gi-Oh thing decides to name stuff. This is not our only dinosaur type, or, well, not type, but you know what I mean, dinosaur-looking monster called Spinos, because that's also how Jurok Spinos is named. I guess they just like to drop the SAR.
Yeah.
They really wanted to spin.
So Spinos is another level 5. He is the low scale. He has 2,500 attack, 1,800 defense, so again, slightly bigger than Rex, though Rex can make himself bigger. Because it is a low scale, it's got the Destroyed by Battle or card effect. Not that you would probably ever want to scale this guy. Because its monster effect is you contribute one other Dynamis monster, activate one of these effects, can attack your opponent directly, can make a second attack during the battle phase. So this one is not restricted by monsters like Rex is. So basically, and obviously with a direct attack, it changes the kind of math for it, but Rex and Spinos both work in different situations. If your opponent has a couple of monsters out there, Rex can be very powerful with its ability to do piercing, but Spinos can attack directly and technically does more damage, so both of them are pieces that you use in order to attempt to bring an end to the game.
Yeah.
I do want to say that I think Spinos' effect timing is a little better because it's just during your main phase you contribute a guy and do the thing, as opposed to Rex can only activate his effect after you get to damage step, which means that your opponent might be able to do something about that.
Yep.
But Spinos is another one of your big game-ending guys. And, God fucking help you if you manage to get both of them on the board and then also have some tributes. If you do some pen scaling.
Oh, yeah.
That just means that you can attack a lot of times and do a lot of damage.
And that's pretty easy to do with the Dynamis Rush.
Yeah.
It's like if these guys aren't both on the board and you have one, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that usually means that something has gone wrong in your strategy. And out of the original Dynamis, this is our last one. It's time for Stegos. He is a Stegosaur. This is another pretty good green. They've gone for a little bit of a brighter within the kind of blue-green on there. Love the glowing, back blades. Very good, very solid.
Yes.
Yeah,
Looks a
very
bit
cool.
Looks a bit what, Love?
Looks a bit tiny, but that's probably because of the perspective.
Yes, I don't think they, much like Anklos, I don't think they did a great job with the bottom half of the card art here. It's a little empty.
Yeah, I think right from the perspective looks like it just broke through a wall.
Yeah, I
Or
think that might be what's
cable.
going on. I like that he's got the
Look.
smokestack on his head.
Yeah.
Kind of good, kind of cool. Another
Wow, you made me-
decent design.
You made me picture this guy pulling a fucking Kool-Aid man.
Oh yeah! I mean, he could be saying that.
I mean, I think that's what this freaking guy's effect is when we get to that is.
Bust through a wall.
Well, if nobody has anything else they want to say about Stegosaur other than he is a Stegosaur, we can get
Nope.
there. So this is another level 4. It's a pen scale 3, 1600, 1800. So yeah, it is kind of similar to a Anklos in being defense weighted. Pendulum effect obviously is the low scale is the destroyed effect. Monster effect, if another pendulum monster you control battles an opponent's monster, after damage calculation, you can destroy those monsters. So you can use Stegosaur to blow up your opponent's annoying monsters who maybe can't be destroyed by battle or are too big or something.
Yes.
Now, be careful to note it says other pendulum monster, but also it says pendulum monster, so it's not necessarily archetype locked.
Yes. I remember being bamboozled by this card in our prog tourney.
Yeah.
Because you don't expect it.
All right, so
Yeah.
now we're going to be in an interesting place. Because
I would say
despite
something.
Master Duel existing, this card is very new, so it's not in Master Duel. It just came out in technically the last core set. But I'm going to pull him out. And this one isn't extended, but you'll notice how it's a lot bigger. Let me see, is that framed up right?
Oh, Jesus!
Yeah. So this is the new boy, Dynamite Power Load, the Draco Slayer.
Okay, hold on. I just want to say one quick thing about this guy. This is the most Digimon one out of all of them.
Yeah, so Dynamists all
Yeah.
came out in like 2016. This card came out in 2022, this year. You'll notice things have changed over the past 6 years.
Yeah, because it's a Draco Slayer.
Yeah.
Wearing the Dynamist for suit.
There is
Yeah.
a thing of
This is Machine Dramon.
yes. There's also a bit of supposedly this is before. This is what becomes Dynamite, the True Draco Slayer.
I don't know how if that's how that works.
In what way?
I mean, the card art is of a guy becoming Dino Armored, who is a guy.
Yeah.
I think it's just Pendulum. Like, I don't... And that was way before this card, I'm pretty sure, so...
Yeah, way
Well,
before.
it's the same actual armor and plating. And
But,
everything.
like, I don't know how this could be a before state to anything, because this is a Dino Mist, but he's branded with all the Draco Slayer iconography.
So it looks like this guy slayed the Draco Slayer, just put it on.
I don't think that's exactly how it went, but
How it's
something
always
like
described
that.
is that
Yeah.
each of the three tribes with Luster Pendulum took basically a thing from one of them, and then they became his disciples by basically falling into shape. But
Yeah, I don't know about that. If that's in a Master Guide somewhere, I haven't read it.
It was.
I'm just so baffled by just how similar he is to Machine Dramon.
Because it's like, because it's like
just the same
they
thing.
legitimately like were added after the fact, and I think they're all purposely designed after all three different like the True Dracos that go under like Masterpiece.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we do have some wiggle room with the other Draco because like
The other one
Dynamite
is-
Knight, the True Draco fighter, is a True Draco, but is not a Draco Slayer yet. This is his Draco Slayer form.
I guess True
So,
Dracos is what I put it. I meant.
I guess that does, in that sense, mean that this is that guy before he became
A True Draco.
a True Draco.
It's just confusing.
But it's a little weird. This happens a lot with these kind of, as Axe mentioned. This is basically a retcon card. Like,
this is meant to be the in-between point between the two things.
yeah, but the exactly like how that in between stage works isn't clear because again, as we said, this card was made like
I think
5 or
think
6
there's a-
years after the other
I think
cards.
there's a new card they did. No, it's the True Draco field spell they show at the moment is. I think that's what it is.
Well, no, the True Draco field spell is a Draconic Diagram.
I think it. That or was like they made a new
Well,
one.
they might
but
have.
it's, like,
I think they did retrain that. We can figure that one out a different time.
but it's like we get the triggers. Like it might be after all. This.
Card art wise, yeah, this one's a little weird. He doesn't look a lot like other Dinomists. Like, yes, he has the big boilers on his back, but he looks just more like generic robot dinosaur, I think.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like they lost some of the design language to make him more Draco Slayer-esque, I guess.
But I guess like, just to make it more of a point, Majesty Maiden used to be a Magispector, so.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but I would like this guy more if he wasn't a Dinomist card or adjacent. You know what I mean?
He's meant to be a weird midpoint thing.
Yeah, it
you
borrows
can
enough of the design language to be close, but it's still pretty far away, so it's just kind of weird. Though I guess, I don't know, he might be standing on the Draconic Diagram.
Are those like meant to be his wings back there?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
got like
that's
weird
the-
dragon wings. Even though this guy's still a machine. It's weird.
If he didn't have the wings, it'll look a bit better.
I also, I feel... his weird mane / dreads of all his, like, tubes and stuff, like, buddy, I don't think those are supposed to be unplugged. I know you've got, like, an effect going on. One of them's even gushing steam, though. It looks weird. Yeah, I think this card just has a little bit of the modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, ooh, we're gonna make it big and robotic and big again. You said big twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's just a little too much. I think they...
Oh, yeah, I think it's Draconic.
Like I said, what's his face? The True Draco Dynamite, who's just a guy in some Dynamite, some Dynamist themed armor. That looks a lot better as like an extra step. And like Axe said, this is probably a transition point between a regular Dynamist and that guy. You can tell that because his name, like his literal card effect is he is both a Draco Slayer and also a Dynamist. So it's supposed to be a bridge card.
Yeah.
But it's still, it means that his design language is very muddied. So let's talk about what he does.
Draconic Pendulum shows them kind of doing the transformation.
So, he is a machine pendulum. He is a 6 scale, though he doesn't have that normal effect. He has 1700 attack, 1800 defense. Pendulum effect, target a Draco Slayer or Dynamist card in your other pendulum zone. Special summon it. You can only do this once per turn. This is a pretty decent card effect in modern pendulum decks. And then monster effect, this card is always treated as a Dynamist card. If this card is tributed, add 1 face-up Draco Slayer or Dynamist Pendulum monster from your action to your hand, except Dynamite Power. You can only use this effect once per turn. So, obviously supposed to kind of work to make a Dynamist Draco Slayer deck work better. Honestly, that deck already worked pretty good because, like, Luster Pendulum, Master Pendulum, Vector Pendulum, and shit. Those guys were all really good in any pendulum deck anyway. This guy just adds extra synergy. He lets you special summon guys in your pendulum zones to get more guys. He lets you add guys if he's tributed. Hey, guess what? If you're playing Draco Slayer or Dynamist or True Draco, you'll be tributing dudes. It all works. I don't think this card, like, breaks any of the archetypes. It just definitely gives you a little bit more of the modern tool set. You guys can feel free to discuss the strategy or not. I, once again, am all the way through a bottle of water. I think I am actually sick because I am fucking slurping.
For next time we do stuff, should we just start doing like the Overlord storyline, like we do Ignite and then Magispector?
I mean, we can sometime. Those guys might end up in solo modes, but I like the theme of doing solo modes because our next one would be Lightsworn, which is very fun.
Yeah, Lightsworn and Twilight Sword.
When we catch up with solo modes by like probably like sometime next year at this rate.
We should probably honestly start that early if we ever do one next week.
We'll figure it out.
Because we're probably not going to do.
Well, Axe, I'm going away now, so I've deafened. Sorry about that, chat. Once again, like I said, I have to go piss, but Axe was holding me hostage, so I'll be right back again. I apologize, but I'm like I said, I feel a little feverish, so I'm drinking a fuck ton of water. Yes, we clicked back on, right? Yeah, Mike reading me. Okay. Let's swaggle back. And unmute
Look,
and
Ted.
myself.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Now we can extend the conversation for extra minutes.
Yeah. So, please don't know the combination of Drake Slayer and Dynamis. You have Dynamis charge on the field, then you blow up one of your other Dynamis cards with the Luster Pendulum. Again, another risk card out and bring another one out onto the field, pretty much.
Oh, what's this Dynamis charge, you say? Well, let's pull that one up. Because we talked about this. The Dynamists are notable for a lot of things. They are a pendulum archetype that have fairly distinct design philosophy. They are relatively low rarity. So the other thing is that they have pretty good spell and trap support. Let's see, if we count the field spell, we've got 5, I think. But
Yeah.
all of them are pretty good. So this is charge. This is a good one to pull up because it shows Rex in kind of a different angle. Makes him look a lot bigger.
Yeah, better angle.
Yeah. I also, I mean, it looks dangerous, but I do kind of like this, like, his boilers are heating up, boiling over.
Yeah, it's just about to shock you.
Yeah, he's going to shoot his big lightning gun.
What? Right. Too bad this thing wasn't in the anime because there would have been some stupid anime attack name for this.
Yeah. So this is a continuous spell card, and it has 2 effects. First, when it's activated, add a Dynamis monster from your deck to your hand. So this is Rhoda. And then, also, once per turn, soft once per turn, by the way, if a Dynamis card is added from the field to your extra deck face up, add one of those cards to your hand. You can activate Dynamis charge one Dynamis charge per turn. So it's a soft once per turn, so you can use the effect multiple times per card. You just have to wait multiple turns to set it. But yeah, basically, charge adds a card when you activate it, and then if any of your pendulum monsters, which is all of your deck, go to the extra deck, you get to add them back once per turn. This is very key to the big resource loops that Dynamis can do still.
Yeah, it keeps them out of the... Especially good in...
Yes, Dynamist is uniquely future-proofed against MR5.
Yeah, it just says, hey,
Or
this
MR4, I
card
should
is
say,
in my
technically.
pendulum, my extra deck is back in my hand now.
Yeah, so I don't think Dynamist was making a lot of waves post-MR4, but it was still very playable.
Yeah, I think it just got overtaken by power creep, really.
Yeah.
As most things do. Yeah.
It's still pretty solid. Them trying to bring back the Draco Slayers as a standalone archetype, I don't think really did anything for them, but there's some options out there. I think the thing that's funny is that they have basically no extra deck presence on their own. I guess that was supposed to be taken up by either generic rank 4s and 5s, which machines have a lot going on there.
Yeah, it is pretty much just generic Xyz is pretty much
But
what
they
Dynamist
are a
did.
pendulum archetype, so giving them like a Link 1 or, well, probably like a Link 2 or Link 3 could be funny.
But nowadays, I guess this deck would just run really Link monsters.
Yeah, you do make a lot of boys, so you could run some Link spam. I don't know what those Link monsters would be, other than trying to like set up Saryuya Deep Draw or
Yeah.
topologic shit. This is Dynamist Eruption. It's a very simple normal trap. If a Dynamist monster you control is destroyed by a battle card effect, target and destroy a card your opponent controls. Just kind of a Meech's Array type thing. But keep in mind, that's just a battle or card effect. So that means you can crash, or when your Dynamist monsters let you blow up your own cards, you get to plus off that by basically, or reduce your opponent's card advantage by blowing them up as well. Also,
Yep.
I mean, I think Brachios is about to blow himself up, but it's a pretty rad card art.
Yeah, he's filling himself up for his comrades.
And there's the the steam of volcano behind him.
Yeah.
A very simple, solid card.
Again, the artist for this had solid notes about the design of how these things functioned.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
on point.
Right. Next.
This is their
Right.
continuous trap card.
Oh, Eruption, the one that Dallas likes.
Dynamist Howling!
Because this, Yeah, this one is. Oh yeah, that's Spinos and Rex. Just commanding the power of the volcano to kill their enemies.
Yep. Just yelling. It's pretty good card art.
Yeah.
Once again, kind of shows the two guys side by side. You get a good angle for scale. Kind of puts Rex in a little bit better light because he's out there.
Right. I think Rex and Spinos are opposite scales.
Yes. One of them is high and one of them is low.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Dynamis Howling is a continuous trap. When this card is activated, you can place 1 or 2 Dynamis Pendulum monsters from your deck in your Pendulum Zone. But you can't Pendulum Summon until the end of next turn except Dynamis monsters, even if this card leaves the field. Once per turn, if this card's already in your Spell and Trap Zone, face up, shoot a Dynamis monster, then target a card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. Yeah, this is good. Admittedly, it's a trap, so you got to set it up. But this basically, like... So, we all know how pendulums work, right? What are pendulums weak to? Pendulum Storm, Wavering Eyes, Twin Twister, right? So when your opponent just blows your ass up, what do? Flip Dynamis Howling. Hey, buddy. 2 scales.
They're back again.
Yeah, just from deck. Just scale from deck. And then also gives you a tribute effect to just bounce a card your opponent controls, which, as we know with the future, Dynamite Power Load. That just also gives you pluses. Like, Howling is good. It's a little slow, like, nowadays, but it's a very solid card, and just... Once again, I would like to reiterate just how crazy the resources on Dinomists are. They have, their continuous trap card, charge is a Rhoda. You just add a monster, when you play it, like a Stratos type effect, add a guy. Terran can just add a guy when he destroys by battle. Howling lets you just put 2 in your pen zones. It's all pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So, and then Charge also lets you loop back from the thing. And then, yes, their other normal trap card. This also, by the way, this is Dynamis Rush. This also gives me big, like, Power Rangers, like, opening, like, OP vibes. Like, just all these dinosaurs running at you. This is like a shot in the stock animation when you summon them all forth.
Yep.
They're coming at you.
Yeah.
So, Dynamis Rush says very simply, special summon a Dynamis monster from your deck, and if you do, it's unaffected by other cards' effects, but also destroy it during the end phase. You can only activate 1 Dynamis Rush per turn. So yeah, this just gets you a guy from deck. He blows up in the end phase, but that doesn't really matter, because you can...
Especially if it's charge on the field.
Yeah, because you can just either loop that card back to your hand, or just not make it destroyed and then loop another card back to your... Like, yeah.
So this can either save you on your bonus turn, or just be like, I can attack you for a game. You can't do anything about it.
Yeah, if you set this up on your turn and get to another turn, you can just be like, and here's an extra guy, you're dead. Your math was wrong. Very powerful cards.
I guess, well, Ash can very block this, but yeah.
Well, yeah, Ash can block it, but the odds that your opponent is sitting on an Ash after you've done your full combo when you summon from deck. I've been playing...
Block charge first.
I've been playing Labyrinth, so some guys are smart enough to hold the Ash until just exactly Welcome Labyrinth, or I don't have anything else, but usually they'll pop it on, like, one of my other 4 search cards. Yeah. So our last card will be the Field Spell, from the time period as well. Though this has a similar thing to, I guess we'll say, like Dragonic Diagram and a couple of other field spells in this era where it's very clearly a field spell for them. Same as I think possibly the Metal Foes field spell. I don't remember if that actually had the Metal Foes name in it. Where it's not actually called a Dynomist card, so you can't search it. This is a Dynamic Power Load. So not Dynamite Power Load, but Dynamic Power Load. And this is clearly Luster Pendulum becoming a Dino Boy.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, I think that's, with these colors, I think that's Plesios he's fusing with.
Yeah, I think so. Though there's also bits of red there, too.
There's also some green, so it might be Stego.
Yeah. This reminds me most of all of Liger Zero just the different parts you can combine into with.
Yeah. So this is us doing the Wambo Cambo, the combi setup, the transformation sequence.
He is literally becoming the Megazord.
Oh yeah, I just looked at the Metamorphosis field spell is called Metamorph Formation.
Yeah, I thought so. This is the thing with a lot of them. I don't remember if I think Ignite has a field spell. I don't remember if it did anything.
Hey, Caesar.
Which one?
If Ignite had a field spell.
Yes, it did. I think it might have been one that.
Because I know for a fact True Draco's Draconic Diagram does not have a True Draco in there. It's Draconic Diagram, so...
Yeah, it's called... it's just called Ignition Phoenix, so no.
Yeah, so, yeah. A lot of these cards and these archetypes had weird field spells you couldn't search. I guess they were trying to, like, limit field spell shenanigans. Which is a terrible shame for Dynamis, because Dynamic Power Load is a fucker of a field spell. All Dynamis monsters in the field gain 300 attack and defense, so again, that's that attack modulation they can do. If a Dynamis monster you control battles, your opponent can't activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. So it turns all of your Dynamists into Armades, and gives them 300 attack. This is another key step in just winning the game, because your opponent can't respond. Luckily, terraforming exists.
Did we ban this in our pro tourney? I feel like we did.
We might have. We had a couple with Dynamist cards because they were everywhere and people were still playing them.
It's just a fucker of a card.
The Armades effect is definitely like Dynamist's really good at getting like 5 dudes on board, and I think we still would have been playing like MR3 and stuff. So just great to let him just keep on coming back and getting all the extra stuff.
Did we show Dynamite or no? What is it? Power Load? I don't remember the name of it.
Yes, Power Load was the guy we left my break on. That's Power Load.
I'm thinking of the fusion. I just don't remember the exact name of it.
Yeah, I don't. What the fuck is his name? Let me see. There's like a list of the related cards. There's Dynamite Knight. Dinosaur Power, the Mighty Draco Slayer. Yeah, that's technically what this guy is
Becoming.
Though, now that I look at Dinosaur Power's look, which we will cover when we get to Draco Slayer, boy, I don't know if these two card arts match up very well. They look pretty different in mid-transformation, I guess.
Okay, I exploded, but I'm back again.
All right, he's
Welcome
back.
back.
But the only card that we banned was, I think, Spinos. That was Dallas' ban.
Okay, did we only hit Spinos? Well, yeah, anyway.
I should probably check, but yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah,
We're not even
fine.
doing prog right now. But yeah, so
Yeah.
their field spell is also good. Its only weakness is you can't search it easily in archetype. But again, hey, that's what terraforming is for. And also, you can now run 3 copies of Metaverse. So there's a lot of flexibility. Oh, did Marth explode again? I just saw him drop out of Discord. Yep. Okay, he's back. Luckily, the video will not be going on too much longer. This was barely an hour 20. Like I said, I thought about packing in another archetype, but we would have had to go further down the list. We would have had to do like weathery, but that. Listen, I'm allergied or sick or something. There's no way I'm doing weather right now. There's too much brain power.
My question for you then is, are we doing one next week?
Yeah, why wouldn't we?
Alright.
It's a Tuesday. What, are you
Yeah.
worried I'm still going to be sick in a week?
No, I just thought it's because it's like close to Christmas. I thought we'd just kind of like not do much.
No, unless you guys can't make it. No, I'm not. See, the beauty of being the youngest child and still living with my parents, who are now the grandparents, is people come to us usually. So no, I'm not going fucking anywhere in the holiday season.
That is a plus side.
Yeah. I don't have to
Well-
travel. And next week is the 20th, so it doesn't matter. The
Gotcha.
27th, I don't know if we have company or not. Yeah, because my family won't be getting together until the week following Christmas anyway. My birthday is the 29th, so that's a Thursday, so that's not a big concern. I won't subject you to the terror of red eyes just yet.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But yeah, we should be back for Lightsworn on the 20th unless we want to do something different.
I thought we'd do something, I guess, like a late birthday thing. I just need to figure out what we'd
Yeah,
do.
if you have an idea, I quite enjoyed the special we did for Dallas. So if you've got a week to think about it.
But it might not be a card game, but I at least have a list of designs I can show.
You want to show? Okay, we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do Vanguard 'cause I don't know
we've
Vanguard
got a
that
week
well.
to talk about
Yeah.
some stuff. I will check in on the patron chat, and technically that also could be 27th. Yeah, the 27th is the last Tuesday, so
Hey.
Patreon should come back. I need to check the exact numbers. You've only got a few days left to vote in this poll if you want to. But quite surprisingly, with only 9 votes, Blackwing is currently in the lead with 4.
Hey, congrats, Patreon.
Yeah,
You guys are
you've got
great.
like 3 or 4 days left.
That's gonna be
Blackwing
like,
is pretty close up. Now, Fluffle
Please.
Frightfur is only 1 behind, so we could get an
Okay.
upset if anybody cares or wants to
I
pay
voted
me
for Fluff- I already
$5.
voted for Fluff,
But
so I can't do much.
we're here. Harpy and Thunder Dragon are just 1. Loth, as usual. Unfortunately, Malefic is a big fat 0. A common Loth
Something
L.
where I would say is like as it should be, but that's just being mean.
I mean, it's being slightly mean to Loth. We can be mean to Malefics, though. I suspect not a lot of people are big fans of that movie.
I've never seen it.
This is a great image, Loth. Is
Yeah,
this supposed to be you right now?
It's meant to be. I hate Blackwings.
Yeah, apparently they're supposed to. Yeah, that movie is supposed to tie into 5D somehow, but because they show a thing,
I need to
It's
see
really
how many,
weird. I don't know.
I need to see how many just.
You should watch the Twitch version of it. It's better.
Malefics are art-wise would be interesting because we get to do a literal compare and contrast, but I can understand why people may not be enthused. We'll save that one for some other time. Or Loth will just keep picking on the poll, and eventually Loth will just be like, do it, you won't, bitch. But the patrons will bite.
I will honestly just say fuck it at some point and just be like, oh, what archetype you picking? Impachi. That's not an archetype. Fuck you.
Well, we'll get
It's
here.
4 cards. It'll be the
Omega,
shortest
that's
one.
about. I stopped caring because I didn't care that much, but it's like about 50 or so cards,
What?
and it's all just monsters.
What is?
Blackwing.
Blackwing.
Oh, okay. You started counting. Okay. Yeah. That will be an interesting one. We might, if you guys win the poll, we might have to do like DDD and do that in multiple parts. Like do the assault Blackwings or other shit in a separate one.
We can do the.
Because there's a lot of fucking
We can do the
Blackwings.
manga. About like 20 of them is the Arc V and manga ones. We probably say this for later.
I'll figure it out. It'll be
Yeah.
interesting because Blackwings even today have legacy support. That was Darkwing Blast, which just came out. But as always, I congratulate you for putting us through that hell. If you do, we don't know.
DD was fun though.
Well,
I
yeah,
remember
but we
Blackwings,
had
though,
to
because
broke
you
it
see
up a
bunch of
little.
birds with like weird faces.
Well, if that may make it go faster at the
At
very
least
least.
with Blackwing, we could say how many of them might have a crack face, like Gale the Whirlwind.
And how many are just wearing masks?
Yeah, Gale just looks fucking high.
He doesn't have a mouth. He wants to scream. by
And then we
rolling.
can also point out how many of them don't have the entire black color.
There's a whole
scheme.
thing of like some of them are like undead, but not really.
I don't think any of them are
Listen, the
undead, really.
Blackwing.
No, none of them are dead. They just
Well,
have
some are
black
just, like-
color schemes. Some of them have bright color schemes, like
Well, some like have like are missing.
God
a
Damn you, OCG. They're doing like something called a rarity collection for 25 years. They're doing reprints of stuff. They're reprinting Fairy Tail Luna. These are not gonna ban it. Fuck you.
Wow.
Yeah, almost all of this is just fucking either cards that are like really good or just general staples. They're
Oh,
reprinting
Border.
fucking Border, Danger Jackalope, Galaxy Eyes Afterglow, Entis, Mud
Ooh,
Dragon, Herald of Arclight, Downward Magician, Galaxy Eyes Full Armor, Code Talker
Yeah.
Inverted, Rhoda, Reasoning. That's a hilarious reprint. Spellbook of Judgment, Chaos Space, and Summon Limit, at least.
Heck, Inspector Board. That's all I can say.
Inspector Board is a weird fucking card.
It's 2000, so it's just like, hey, your monster effects. Do you have any extra deck? No.
Yeah,
Go
but you
die.
have to do math to play Inspector Mortar, which always kills me.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. No idea what happened to Dallas. He's online right now, but he's probably just
He
playing
probably
Gems of
doesn't
War again.
notice that we're streaming.
Well, we'll see.
Or-
He might also just be in a coma. But I don't really want to prolong this episode any longer than it has to be, because as I said, I feel slightly sick, and now my water bottle is empty for like the second time tonight. So that was Dinomists, a very fun little archetype. Not a lot to really get into other than just, you play Dinomists.
Yeah.
So it's pretty solid. And, check out that solo mode if you haven't. Stay tuned for more Fatal Portrayal content. Hopefully tomorrow I will still be, because I don't even feel really that bad, but hopefully tomorrow I'll be okay to do at least some Final Fantasy XIV and not have to wait till Thursday, because that always fucks up the view numbers.
Well, I
Hopefully
think
we
you'll-
can pop in
hopefully
and
you'll
do some seasonal
it'll be
stuff.
Something very weird, and you might be at least very your attention likes to be grabbed.
I mean, Axe, the Hildebrand quests are not going to cure me of a cold, so we'll have to see. Like I said, I don't really feel that bad today, so hopefully we can do something. At the very least, I'm pretty sure I can log on and do the seasonal event, and maybe do some of the side quests I know we've talked about doing. I don't know if I'll be in a mood for any of the grinding stuff I've discussed with
Lucky,
Lucky,
definitely
but
not required for endgame.
Yeah.
so
That industry.
we'll check all that stuff out. If you feel like this was too short, hey, for like 3 hours we streamed God of War yesterday, so go check that one out. It's cool. Otherwise, yeah, I guess I'll see you whenever. I'll also keep your eye out for the AP whenever that goes up. That's all I got. Don't forget to give us a like, and give us a like. See, if you press it an odd number of times, and if you haven't given us a like, that means we'll end up with a like. I think you can take away a like by still unclicking it. Anyway, before I enter the Fever and a Moon Age Daydream, continue also, drop us a sub, membership, Patreon, like I said. Join Patreon, vote in the poll, $5 up level. Membership badges and emotes. It's a real fun time. And we'll see you guys next time. Good night, everybody.
Take care now.
No, Marth's VC is dying.